Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game 2 of the finals, NP versus FDL. NP leads 1-0. They are not mucking around, man. That was one of the fastest breaks between games I've ever seen. And coming into this one, Trent, we've got a quick draft. First pick OD for FDL, and now Shadow Demon Razor for NP. They'll go right back for the Oracle, the FDL Classic we've been talking about. These teams are ready to get right back in it.
Yeah, you inspired me to go grab some water because I had not realized how fast time was moving. Jeez, they hopped right into those picks. I love it. It's good. It's a best of 5. They know it's going to 5 games because that's what the fans want. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Probably they don't. Either team does.
I mean, I like that FDL though. To me, that says, okay, we messed up. That game was maybe an out draft, maybe a key out execution. Maybe they needed to pull some rotations earlier. A lot of things that you could take away from that, but to just wipe it off, move forward, and look towards the future, I think is a good approach. You know, that's only game 1. You still got a lot of games to go in this potentially long series. Really need a win here, though. Going 1-1 makes it feel like, okay, great, now it's just a best of 3. Going 0-2 off the bat, oh, man, makes that game 3 very scary. That's a lot of pressure on that last game, you know. Yeah. Comfort zone for FDL, though. That's what I see with this draft. I mean, again, the Shadow Demon for NP. We saw 1-4-3-7 with a great performance last game. But OD Oracle, 2 heroes that we've seen FDL just run away with.
Yeah, for sure. They're like 2 best friends, right? 747 loves his OD. And stanking on the Oracle. Oracle and OD go very well together, giving that false promise on the OD. He runs rampant through the team fight. Passes a bunch of spells. Double saving mechanism is great too, so it denies out certain things. Your draft will even just get rid of the Faceless Void as well, who's, of course, notoriously difficult to get good Chronos off against both these heroes. But the OD on the Radiant side, again, they go for that Razor for NP. Not too surprising because NP's been playing it very well. It does decently. Like, no one likes playing against OD, but Razor has an okay. I mean, honestly, no one likes playing against Razor either. These guys, I'm sure, just hate each other. But at least on like that dire side, you don't really have any option but to sit in lane. There's no neutrals to really help you out until you have like ulti on Eye of the Storm.
So Enchantress, 4th banned by NP. That one's a little bit interesting.
Maybe they were hoping for some Mason inspiration or something.
I mean, of course, that is in recent memory. We saw it was Enchantress versus Invoker mid, right? Was that the matchup? And it was a Mason
I think so.
Enchantress, and he just did kind of like the Slasher's Way style, max untouchable, and surprisingly good against the Invoker. You sort of think to yourself, well, Invoker, yeah, his right click's hurt, but he has a lot of spells. But in the laning stage, it's all Forge Spirits, it's all Cold Snap right clicks. As long as you're not getting hit by Sunstrikes and stuns from other rotations, Invoker like can't even touch you, and you just sit there and farm away and harass him. It was devastating in that particular game we saw. It was
pretty comical,
really impressive.
And then we had it was Doo-Wop actually up against FDL later on in the tournament, where they went for the MJW on the Enchantress too. So just getting rid of like another one of his offlaners with the Axe being gone. FDL taking out the Batrider in that first phase themselves this time, and then now the Enchantress. MJW's pool of heroes is dropping pretty low. They even take out that Beastmaster with NP having the first pick. I think they probably would have taken it here, knowing that if they didn't, FDL would have snagged it up.
Right.
And, geez, now heroes even left here for MJW are dropping pretty low. Almost like an MJW Timber or something.
Yeah. There's got to be some other choice we're not thinking of, and I guess Slardar potentially one of them. That's taken out now, and NP get.
Oh, the Centaur. It'll be Centaur with the OD and the Oracle, actually.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Go for.
It's really actually very similar to the Shadow Demon Slardar. You get the Banish to set up, and he walks in with his big old stun. Centaur can basically do the exact same thing with OD, and it's a pretty scary duo. Oracle Centaur works pretty well. He already can absorb a lot of damage. Having somebody like Oracle to back him up can be huge.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. The Nyx is not really jumping out into any fantastic counters this game. Like, if there was something more valuable, like if there was a Batrider or an OD on the enemy team, maybe you would think the Nyx would be fine here. Let's go for that. But in terms of like your own team synergy, the Centaur certainly fits the best of the ones I can think of. Maybe a Sand King. But without knowing like the lane matchups too, that gets a little bit touchy.
All right, well, safe lane here for FDL. It's the Terrorblade, unless they go for some sort of aggro try. Again, a great hero to have alongside the Oracle. Keep him alive long enough to get off that Sunder. It can make all the difference in the world. Plenty of late game for FDL, I think that's for sure.
10 seconds remaining.
Yep, high armor up against the Razor, and then the Slider can be very handy too, of course, with the minus armor, and then all that physical damage coming out from the Razor.
Yeah,
So.
TV might be like the only hardcore position 1 that doesn't really care about amp damage. Even at level 6, he's got enough armor that it's still like he still feels pretty tanky. You know,
It still sucks, right?
Yeah, but
not as much as anyone else.
he's like that one guy that he's just built in to kind of deal with it, and of course towards the late game scales very well against all that minus armor. But you know, this NP lineup, again, I worry a little bit that they could just take control early. Slardar is a hero that we've seen can come online very early if he has a good laning stage, and with a hero like Shadow Demon, I think that's totally possible, where they could find a few kills and get that snowball rolling. Of course, the Razor can come online early, but now Morphling for AUI. This gives NP a little bit of late game security, and of course, paired with the Shadow Demon, Illusion Harassment is going to be a real threat here for FDL. Great pick to start rounding out this draft.
Yeah, it's pretty much, if you look at the heroes that were left, assuming you're going to be trying to play off that Shadow Demon, there's basically Juggernaut was left in the pool, but he doesn't do very well up against Terrorblade. But Morphling, gets right past that nice high armor with all that magic burst that he'll be throwing on out here. I like the silence coming out from FDL. So that's good. So help control up that Morphling, try and prevent him from getting off that Morph strength. Maybe it'll be enough.
Maybe.
5 seconds remaining.
FDL are lacking on real control, though. I mean, you've got Fortune's End, and you've got the setup from OD. That's pretty nice. I mean, are you still feeling the Centaur last pick?
Yeah, kinda, actually. I think it's okay.
I mean, it would solve one of their issues, and there it is. Final ban from NP. Really good
Damn,
read.
dude. Poor MJW. He's having a hard day, dude. Like, every offlaner is gone. There's Nyx. There's only Nyx.
Yeah, this is pretty offlane-centric ban.
Is this going to be the return of offlane Lifestealer? Like, is that where we're at this point?
Tide Hunter.
Tide Hunter, that's true.
They could go back for a Tide. I'm not sure how great Tide would be, but they need something like that to hold this together. Right now, they're lacking on a big disable to hold this team fight. And even though NP don't have the most, you still have that Slardar who can be a big nuisance. And I think like NP could start to run away with this game before FDL's heroes really come online without, some sort of tempo controller. I mean, off-lane Puck, probably not very likely, but
we've been seeing it.
It's an off-lane hero.
Yeah, with the position 4 still left, though, and you can just grab someone to be, like, massively abusing you or something.
Yeah.
Don't think you'd have a good time.
Yeah,
be really cool this game for NP, actually, would be a Silencer.
Oh.
That would actually be pretty baller, I feel like. With this Oracle, Terrorblade, OD, like, these saves available between Sunder, between False Promise, between the Astral, dropping the Sandy's Eclipse. The Manta from the Terrorblade's obnoxious, but OD doesn't build anything up against it. Some of the Chinese teams have been having a ton of success with Silencer up against these OD lineups. It's been pretty dope.
All right, they ban out the Undying. And, all right, Sand King. How did we forget about Sand King?
We mentioned him earlier, and then he just kind of fell off at that point.
I knew there was somebody. All right. Well, probably not the easiest time for Sand King, though. I think it's very likely to be safe lane Morphling with the Shadow Demon there helping out, especially if NP want to do this dual lane setup. And that's a matchup where I think Sand King is just sort of doomed. Double range heroes can just harass him. The Shadow Poison alone, can be really irritating. This might be a jungling Sand King.
Yeah, like someone who can at least have that fallback. So MJW looking to be a lot more active this game.
So NP, what's the final choice here? Looking for a support, of course. Looking to pair with that Shadow Demon. They could go for Dazzle if they wanted some sustain. You mentioned the Silencer. They could look for like a Venge for more minus armor, another stun.
Synergy.
Okay.
Oh, support Slayer there.
So,
Position 4. Nice.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Nice SVG Slayer there. Okay, so he'll be playing it a lot like that Elder Titan. Basically the exact same idea. Where you're just you get the free setup here from the Shadow Demon. Okay. Very nice, very nice. No real counters here from FDL against this Timbersaw either. Like the best thing you have pretty much is Sandy's Eclipse, right? And the silence is annoying from Ricky, but it's pretty hard to bring down a Timbersaw before you can waddle himself outside that cloud.
Yeah, and again, that lack of stun makes it hard for them to even think about locking the Timbersaw down inside of the smoke cloud and finding the kill. Like, you've got MJW's stun, and that's still a pretty small window to secure a kill on the typically tanky Timbersaw. Again, I kind of like this NP draft. I hate to say it. I feel like a front runner. But for FDL, it's like they've got some options. A lot of things could work. At least this game, they have maybe not the end-all be-all in late game, but I think if this goes 45, 50 minutes plus, you know, there could be a window in this game where it's just, all right, hang on, wait for OD to hit critical mass alongside Terrorblade, and they can just kind of win this game with brute force. But NP just has so many options in that early mid-game, that like 8 to 15-minute window where they just have a lot of stuns, a lot of heroes that, you know, provide a lot of utility. The Envy Razor during that window can go from, yeah, he's dominated the lane to, okay, now he's dominated all of the lanes. You know, that's sort of the Envy Razor effect. One of the reasons we see this hero banned out so much against this team.
Yeah, I think FDL, maybe after the last game, it could be a little bit of a like a wake-up call to figure out how their draft's going to fit into the timing. It kind of felt like things just got a little bit too passive for them in the game before.
Yeah.
But if they're looking at this game now and they're saying, like, looking at these heroes and they're like, okay, like Timbersaw, he needs a while to come online and be super good, right? Like maybe he gets that early hood instead or something of like the Bloodstone to try and participate in the fights, but that is going to cripple him a bit.
Yeah.
They've gone greedy with the Slardar. They have a Morphling that needs to get into some items, might stop along the way for like a Dragonlance. And if you can force them to go into some of those cheaper items and then win a couple of those fights, then reduce down the scaling of them heading into like the later parts of the game, that's when you can really see, I think, the Blossom come out here from this OD, from this Terrorblade. And FDL, you can definitely see how they could take over this map right here, right? You snowball a little bit with a Sand King and a Riki, and suddenly you're just like, you're just jumped on, you're silenced, and you're killed by an Epicenter over and over again.
Yeah, right. That's definitely true. There is some snowball potential for this Radiant squad. If they do manage to do well in the lanes or win some of those big game fights, I mean, obviously, this game gets a lot easier for them. Morphling, Shadow Demon, always a really scary duo, not just because of the illusion spam later on in the game, but the Morphling's already pretty elusive to lock down and, you know, providing more ways to reset the fight for him. I think AUI should have a pretty good time farming here. We've seen the trend with this team, the amazing 4+1, where they make these distractions and AUI just picks up absurd amounts of farm.
Yeah, last game, we actually saw so much pressure on MJW, which I think, well, again, we're already starting to see it here, but it was kind of cool to see them really put that effort into zoning out the offlaner, but and 1437 spent way more time up here last game than he did in the previous matches we've watched.
Yeah. No doubt.
And, oh, stops at 4 stacks. Still very nice, though. So Salve and 6 can go. Oh, he gets the 5th stack.
Very nice.
37, God.
What is that, 320 damage? Yeah, that actually hurts.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of his mana being used already, though, so it's popping his clarity.
There you go. Very nice. So mid lane, what are we looking at here? Razor versus OD. This is one of these matchups you and I have talked about a fair bit for a long while, especially when OD was really in vogue. A lot of debate about heroes that can match up against him, and Razor, one of the better heroes, namely because of the mechanic with the static link and the astral imprisonment. If you can force the OD defensive, you can just drain all of his damage, and when he pops out, a couple of easy right clicks. At the very least, Razor can out-harass him in lane and find pretty good CS, and already Envy's off to a good start. 6-8 compared to the 2-0 OD. Poor Susie, man. This has just been back-to-back brutal experiences for him.
Yeah, this is well set up here by NP, too. Just leaving that OD in the pool, knowing that if FDL are going to take it, that means we will get our Razor. It's not going to get banned out in the second phase like it has the past couple times. And it looks like 747 just hasn't quite found the answer here. Now you can really blame him. Like, Envy's just coming on in, using that static link. All you can really do is try and come in between cooldowns, but he isn't even skilled into, like, maybe an earlier Arcane Orb than you might suspect. You can't go for any sort of an Astral play, or you just get slowed down.
Yeah. Up top, a little bit of
skillless
damage coming on to the Shadow Demon, but Disruption keeps him safe. Just backs on out. Riki trying to put some pressure on up top, but still only level 1. So far, it feels like a fairly quiet game out of Terry. I mean, Riki tends to be kind of hit or miss in these early levels. Sometimes you'll find that easy harassment mid, and other times it's a bit more like this, where you look around the map and who does he pick on? You know, down bottom, okay, maybe SVG is the most extended, but it's a bloody Slardar, not someone that really wants to go blow for blow with a Riki. Down bottom, Stanking forced to TP home as MSS walks forward. He went for this very defensive build, no point in Timber Chain, so not able to get there in time and help with the damage, but still looks like NP are coming out swinging here once again, Trent. They've got a nice lead for themselves at the 3-minute mark. 500 net worth, 300 experience just from straight laning prowess.
Yeah, I do like what they've done right now with the Riki, though, because Riki was the one who drove 1437 back into the tower. You can imagine if he doesn't think Riki's here, he's just here right now, right? Like, he's putting that pressure on, he's just right-clicking you, he's putting out more of these shadows, and now he's starting to realize it. But Riki has TP'd in that mid lane, and they're looking to set something up here, get something done onto Envy. It's gone for the 0-2-1 build here. Oh, there it is, the plays. They're doing it. It's like the courier, but it's Ricky.
The Fortune's End connects, but do they actually have the damage for this? Astral Imprisonment makes his life even easier. Now Ricky possibly getting turned on. His SVG rotates in, the Slytherin guard, living up to his name as he slithers forward, but can't quite find the crush. The important thing, though, is that Envy survives. They even make a little tree just for him. Happy little tree there for Envy. How nice. Little bonsai.
I just can't get over this is like basically the courier play, but with the Ricky. It's great. We saw a couple teams trying this out with like PAs and stuff like that, and like little blink strikes, and with Ricky's a couple times. But that is like literally exactly where he was camping with the courier.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Stan King smoked up. They are committed to trying to pressure this Razor, but it is just not going well.
Oh, they have to though. Like,
I mean,
this is so required right now.
Fortune's End gets channeled up. He steals a lot of damage. Stan King says, "I'm out of here, guys." That was not worth it. That was a smoke and a TP, and all it does is just hand Envy more damage. I mean, nobody dies, but that's a pretty big backfire if you think about the cost of consumables there from the Oracle and how little he got out of it.
Yeah, at the very least, 747 is now starting to catch up in last hits.
Yeah, that's true. This
Or,
pressure
like,
has
have
just
some,
instilled a
yeah.
little chaos and broken things up. That is true. All right.
Into some boots of his own. I do think it's going to be one of those games where Envy gets that build he loves, though, right? Just the kind of standard build we've seen from quite a few teams. Dragonlance, travel.
BOT, yep.
Yeah, like you said, a nice enough start that should be the option here. I don't think he's going to need that early hood, or that we saw like early Medallion and Solo Crest like come back into the game, used successfully a couple times too, or like when you're really snowballing and you want to go for some objectives.
We saw him go mech first one game too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Nice stun from the Stan King on 2. But nice crush from the Slardar. Defensive disruption. Guys, 1-4-3-7, a little bit of time. And now they turn on the MJW, but the first blood's drawn by Stan King on the back line. Another stun on 2. MJW setting it up for his team. Double kill for Stan King now as they bring down the Slardar. MSS on the run. He has one more Timber Chain. And I think he gets out of this one. Fortune's End does connect, but he's even got a Mango in tow. He should be just fine, though. Ricky on the way. 3 points in reactive. God damn, he's so hard to kill, even though it's 4-on-1 right now. He's going to be able to survive through this. Nicely done by FDL, though. They turned that around, and NP perhaps underestimating the power of the Oracle and even these early levels. Those Purifying Flames, man, they hurt.
Oh, it's brutal. Did you see the play last night? I can't remember if it was a triple or a double kill, but he brought down 2 cores, like right in the same area as the Oracle. It's just absurd. Like, he is quite the hero with Purifying Flames.
Hungry for vengeance, though. MJW almost dies to neutrals. Now SVG comes in looking to set up on somebody. Can't quite find it.
6 now. And they have Dust. Should be dead.
The Dust connects. SVG finds the crush, and Ricky gets brought down. First kill of the game now for NP, 2-1. They get on the scoreboard.
There's that nice early rotation from Envy. Again, like the past couple of days, watching NP up against Infamous especially, they didn't look like that super crisp and very successful, like rotations, kind of planned sort of stuff. AUI being that lonesome guy that we saw those first couple of days where it just looked so planned, so concise. But today, this is exactly the kind of stuff we were like praising them for, right? These early Envy rotations coming down, going on to objectives. Yeah, they're looking very good today.
Mid lane, FDL seems like they want to put some pressure on perhaps and go tower for tower. Not going to be so easy. This rotation from Envy with a double damage, very well timed, and this will be a nice, easy tier 1 tower in the Radiant safe lane. Again, opening up that Radiant jungle a little bit so they can start moving around. 1-4-3-7 finds the Ricky, drops down a Sentry Ward, anticipates the rotation. Of course, Terrorblade with Metamorphosis does give some pushing power to this Radiant squad, but they don't bring the tower down quite yet. Envy TP's in, drops a Plasma Field, and they will keep this tier 1 safe. But look at this. It is literally 4v5 Dota right now. AUI, man, he's pressuring that tier 1. He's got himself the Perseverance. This Morphling's just farming away. #1 on net worth. Right now, the distraction from NP is working. That classic early 4-man already coming online.
All right, oh, they're going for the other play here up onto Aqua. Silence, nice.
Ooh.
I think AUI, you could go down here, another Purifying Flames.
Very nice rotation. All right, well, just as we praise it, AUI maybe a little cocky with his positioning there after seeing the rotations from FDL. This Oracle, Stan King, the only hope for FDL. Carrying all 3 kills for the team.
Did they get anything done here? So they've lost the bottom tower. We haven't talked a lot about Mr. Visa, right? He's kind of doing his own thing.
We have not.
That 4-man shield.
he's got a pretty standard set of items right now. His farm's really not that great. Him and the Sand King are kind of on the same pace. Of course, that was the off lane, so he's just sitting on brown boots, Aquila. I feel like right now he's just trying to get his basic items before he gets too comfortable.
AUI though, one death up top. Now it's time to roam around the map. He's got his Perseverance going. Envy's very firmed. Or Timbersaw is much more firm than the previous game. MSS just got his arcane boots. He can go into a soul ring. MJW though, he's also much more firm than last game, right? Having a good old time, just a little bit behind MSS.
Well, I think the big one
into a blink
is Susie. I mean, talk about disparities. He had a really rough start, but now up to 43 CS, number 2 on net worth, only behind that of Envy. He's recovered very well, and it looks like a drum opener for him, so he's just going to go nice and beefy. We've seen a lot of ODs look for the early Hurricane Pike. You know, either get out the Dragonlance if you're kind of ahead, or rush the Force Staff if you feel like you need that survivability. And this is slightly different, but does give him some nice value stats at this stage, and I guess he feels a little more vulnerable. Even just having a bracer helps out in the lane so you don't get bullied as much.
Yeah, it does help for like early group up plays too. Just kind of nice, right? Always good having the general aura things going around. Kind of feels like a game where maybe he's not going to need the Hurricane Pike for like chase down or anything. So he'll get it eventually for sure, but I can definitely agree with like these earlier drums.
Yeah. Well, smoke on smoke action here. Who catches who? NP, they go down first.
FDL.
MJW gets caught by the stun as he tries to counter-initiate. Bisa pops the Metamorphosis, and SVG might still be able to get away here. Astral Imprisonment sets him up, but also buys him some time as the Fortune End had just connected. They drop the dust. Maybe it's Aqua that's in trouble. Terrorblade and Oracle get popped on the back line, and NP just have way too much damage when it's all said and done. MSS, you mentioned how far in this Timbersaw is. He's level 8. And he was just bouncing around doing big damage with that chakra. Even just a level 1 Whirling Death was enough for him to find a duo of kills. This FDL lineup just not ready to fight yet, Trent.
Yeah, that actually looked so good for them, though, but missing that first initial stun. And not able to like bring down the Slardar. From there, they just dive a little bit further trying to get kills. Everyone gets picked off one by one. The save, like the self-save from the OD inside the smoke cloud, it was... yeah, I think you might be right on that one. Not quite ready to fight. No Blink Daggers, no Sandy's Eclipse leveled up yet because, you know, you're an OD and you're not really into that point where
normally Terrorblade pops Metamorphosis at this stage and you go, all right, guys, we need to think twice. He's in meta. This is kind of scary. And they did the opposite. They're like, all right, guys, he popped meta. Now's the time to kill him because it's going to be on cooldown. And that's pretty much what happened. It felt like the Terrorblade was almost a non-factor in that fight. And they'll get a tower out of it. It's a slow push for NP, but they bring it down. They also glyph the tower up top, so it looks like it won't be a freebie for 1437. AUI joining the fight. He's still pretty pleasantly farmed right now. Rocking the rings, Aquila and the Perseverance.
And look where the lines are being drawn by 1437 right now. Just down mid and down through the bottom lane. So they have the Shadow Demon down here. He can do a little replicate in towards the mid lane in about 10 seconds. And he can just solo push bottom as the Morphling. The Blink Dagger, oh, it's so close from MJW. They really need that threat onto the Morphling, I feel like.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have detection, though, so theoretically he can't, like, push fully down these lanes and whatnot, having to worry about a Ricky play into a Sand King.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a constant threat. Things will get a little bit easier for NP now that their supports are leveling up. Shadow Demon now hits 6, and Slardar was very close to his, about 150 experience away. But, of course, amp damage makes their lives against Ricky a lot easier. They can set up kills with the extra damage, and if they find a successful fight, opens up some Roche possibilities. I think after that last fight, if they had amp damage, Roche might have been tempting. We'll see initiation onto the Replicant. Always unfortunate. Hard to tell, though. Baits out a couple stuns. Now a rotation up top. They might find this OD. Oh, sweet Susie.
I believe he hath been found.
Yeah, even using his Astral just to farm, too. That makes it hurt that much more. Not that it would have saved him anyway, but making progress towards his Force Staff. I think it's still commendable how well this OD has farmed in this game, given that it has certainly not been easy.
All right, well, it's certainly, you know, it kind of feels like that same as last game where NP are getting these big rotations and stuff like that, but FDL are fighting back in terms of the overall net worth and whatnot this time. Like, MGW is actually ahead of the Timbersaw by quite a bit. Considering the kill stance, pretty impressive. He now has that Blink Dagger pushed up from the side shop here. They haven't spotted it. This could be a nice big fight for FDL if there's any sort of an overextension here from NP. But it's actually Them feeling pressure to head top, perhaps. In fact, oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
FDL were hoping that they could try to force something, but it's NP that forced the hand the other way, and they'll just happily back up. They see meta's already been used. It's at half duration. Definitely the smart play just to TP home after seeing all those heroes rotate. You know, again, it just feels like FDL a little bit outmaneuvered there. That could have been a potentially big fight, but NP seemed wise to it, and they got the value rotations. And now that they saw them all head to the other side of the map, they said, well, all right, let's check out Roche.
Too, while they were in there, while they're in that area. But at least, luckily, they did smoke up and start moving very quickly towards the mid lane, so there is potential for them to get here in time. MGW with the Blink Dagger, too.
Roche not falling that quickly quite yet, even with the amp damage. But again, look at the positioning from 1437.
Oh, he smoked. He knows they're there.
No doubt. Drops a ward down. They come out of the pit. FDL, they start to back up.
That's a DD hasted Razor.
Holy shit. Yeah, they better run.
Good thing they got out of there in time.
Oh, my God.
That ward, I'm sure, saving their lives.
They might try to go on to Envy here. His haste is now expired. Just a double damage rune. NJW connects with the stun. Follow up, perhaps. He's dropped the ult. Now Envy completely isolated. He's going to live through the initial burst. He does eventually fall, but it's a little bit close for comfort. They were in the Roche pit, but they still can't quite bring him down. It ends up being a misplay for NP, and now MJW catches SVG. Nice defensive disruption. Timbersaw from the high ground, wraps around, throws some damage. Astral keeps him alive a little bit longer, but he's 100% dead now. Okay. Secures the kill. Very nice. That's a 2-0. They go on to the replicate, though. Nice bait from AUI. Is there going to be enough follow-up, though?
Envy to come back. And, there's no Terrorblades. There's no way they can take Roche themselves.
Yeah,
that's the best news here for Team NP.
But he does get a tier 2 tower out of it up top, so value time here for the Terrorblade. A really awkward fight. A characteristic of NP in that kind of a scenario. It's Stan King. Oh, clipped by the Chakram. He'll survive. Compliments of the Fake's Edict. Nice heal there.
And back to the pit we go.
Yeah, I guess even with those deaths, NP, it's just so spammable for them. This is really costly. Look at that gold graph, and it's gone from, okay, we've got a comfortable lead to pretty even. FDL did a really good job splitting around the map there. A lot of credit to the Terrorblade. It will not stop Roche, however, and that's an Aegis of the Immortal now in the hands of the Razor.
Yeah.
He's also really close to BOT. He's only a couple hundred gold away.
Definitely the hero I think you want to put this on top of. Envy, like, you just have to deal with them, right? You can't just be like, okay, just ignore the Aegis carrier and kill everyone else. If he pops his ulti and runs into your team, there's really no choice.
Yeah, that kind of works for some heroes. Definitely not Razor. Not one of them, unfortunately. AUI up top could fall victim to gank. It's a 4-on-1. Fortune's End in the silence, but not even close. They immediately start to back up as they see rotations coming. AUI's got friends. Stan King, he makes it out. MJW, Burrow strike away. And Aqua, well, he'll be just fine, at least for now.
All right. Similarly, they forced a bunch of rotations this time, so getting a little bit of a win here. FDL, but now in his Eternal Envy, he did steal some experience in that stack. Nice, gets a free level. Thanks, 747.
Some rotations coming in. Envy just scouting out ahead. A unique situation here where 747's reasonably isolated. But how deep does Envy want to go? He's got his BOTs coming. Now he gets them, and maybe this is the sign to go. They'll see the team rotate through. He pops the Eye of the Storm. Nice force staff away. MJW with a stun on two. A nice turn as, the Insanity's Eclipse comes. That'll be the end of the Aegis straight away. NP get punished for their insolence here, and they should be able to get 2 kills out of this. Nice stun on the Envy. MJW setting it up once more.
That is so huge for FDL. Like, they were in a position where NP just got this Aegis, even though they kind of they didn't get like big wins across the whole map because of that Terrorblade trade. They lost some heroes near the pit. Envy goes down once, and then once they actually have the Aegis, though, they had this moment where it was like, okay, now we can just group up and really get back into our flow, right? Let's get back to what's been working for us today. Be really crisp, head down that mid lane, take care of that, open up the map a little bit for ourselves, and they just lost Aegis for absolutely nothing. Get a second kill to boot, and on the Timbersaw, who you're slowing down from that Bloodstone.
I mean, that was also just super sick from the Sand King. Maybe almost felt just a little bit lucky that timing when he went in right as MSS was right next to the Razor. I guess also just a misplay from NP clumping up and making that stun possible. But connecting it on both heroes makes that such an easy setup for the rest of the team. And they died so fast that it was like the rest of NP, even though they were kind of nearby, still couldn't get there fast enough to really make a difference. Force staff now up on the Sand King.
Hurricane Pike also finished up here for 747. So there's some serious items coming out right now.
Yeah, this is big.
Parablade's at a point where he's the Dragon Lance. He can just happily keep farming neutrals, sending illusions of himself down these lanes. It's going to be a little bit harder now for NP to try and regain themselves into that big 5-man push strategy because these towers actually going down this game, right? Like they've eliminated, I suppose, only this portion. They're still missing this tier 1 down in the bottom lane. But they can apply this pressure through the mid, up into the top, through the neutrals and whatnot. They've kind of conquered this little area, being in here, gained some good vision deny up with some sentries, probably some aggressive observers coming out near somewhere in this area. And they can just hold. Oh, they're going to know that ward's there now. That's too bad.
Yeah, unfortunate. Now, one of the cool picks about one of the cool things about the Morphling pick here, he's got the Lincolns, but he's still going to come online with a shotgun before OD and Terrorblade are even close to that critical mass point. There's a Manta on the way, it looks like, for TB coming up next, but AUI's farm is still pretty good, and we haven't even really seen the beginning of the Morphling yet. He's only 1-1-0, hasn't really participated all that much except for some of the tower pushing. So another threat that FDL will have to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. Standard kind of Morphling stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You know, your team just does things, and you're sort of part of the team, but not really until you actually have items, and then you suddenly get E-Blade and just want to fight for the rest of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. And MSS, his farm has really slowed down. He's now lowest of the cores. Doesn't even have the Bloodstone yet. He started off on such a good foot. I guess he's still leveled pretty high, level 11. Middle of the pack.
Now.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, he has it. Oh, okay. I was on the courier. It's like, wow, how is he so poor? Okay, there we go. Now this makes more sense. Whew. Should have checked the courier. Still, he is lowest on net worth in terms of the cores. That part doesn't change, but at least the Bloodstone now. 20 minutes. He can keep farming.
Oh, they're looking for Envy with a Blink Force Staff Epi.
They set it up. There's the stun. This should be an easy kill. Envy in a lot of trouble. Insanity's Eclipse. Whew. Susie's angry,
that's the only thing. Like, this ward was 100% known. It was even pinged out by AUI. He was like, yo, there's a ward here.
Yeah.
Like, they walked the illusion up, and the Oracle just walked into it, so...
Yeah, absolutely right.
I think it might have been... Like, they scanned the Ancients and saw there were heroes there, so I don't know if they thought that, like, there wouldn't be a Terrorblade, so it was okay to rotate. I'm not sure. That was a weird play.
NP maybe in some trouble behind their tier 2 mid. 1437 gets jumped on and destroyed in the blink of an eye before his team can even react. Meta gets popped, and now this tier 2 tower mid be under assault. They force out the glyphs straight away, but NP handing a lot over. FDL looking way better this game.
Yeah, this is what we were lacking last time for FDL, is just something for MJW to use as a tool to bring them into advantageous positions and fights, and he's just always targeting these supports. Like, yeah, Sand King's, or rather Shadow Demon's super obnoxious and just disrupt someone, but jumping on top of him, always going to be the best possible option. So despite 1437 being down, they actually smoke up. They head in towards the mid. They're not going to find anything but this rotation.
Probably not, unless FDL poke out in this bottom lane. They're all huddled up near the tier 3 tower, but seems they won't provide the opening. It really does feel like MJW has been that key player this game, though. So many fights where it starts off as an okay initiation from NP, and there's that instant counter initiation from the Burrow Strike. He's been such a hard hero to lock down. Look at his scores, 0-0-9 this game. Been involved in 100% of the kills FDL have brought out, and has not conceded a single death himself. That's a pretty impressive score at 22 minutes.
Yeah, he actually just saw this ward, saw that it was freshly put down, and was worried that there were people rotating in. He just quickly ran away from it, so I don't know if he's going to find a chance to go back and actually take it down. Oh, they're going on Envy.
Yep, another Epi setup here. He's got friends nearby. Can they get off the disruption? They do. And now maybe the turn. MSS onto MJW. Doesn't have the damage, but they keep Envy alive. There was no Sanity's Eclipse that time. Still on cooldown from the last go. Maybe a little bit less likely they find the kill that time, but good reaction from the teammates.
Yeah, I'm not sure if when he started 1437 was still in this fog. Maybe that's what happened from like their own vision up here, but
yeah.
Either way, oh, nice little use of the illusion there. That's kind of cute. Illusion rune and throws up to D-ward.
Oh. Yeah, that's a safe way to D-ward, that's for sure. I don't know, we've all been there. One of your pub mates says, illusion rune, useless. Yeah, right, son. You can stack with an illusion rune. That's like the efficiency rune, man.
Genius, dude. You are like blowing minds right now.
Genius. Oh. Never in the history of Dota.
I just hate it when you're playing against a Meepo and he gets an illusion rune. That actually like kills me. And he just poofs on you and you're like, seriously? Really? How is that a thing? Either way.
Yeah, that one's a little bit maybe
What's
not
Mr.
the most
Aqua
common,
been up to down here, man? I haven't seen him do anything in a while, it feels like. There was like that play up top where they tried the morph thing a while ago, and that's pretty much been it, you know?
0, 2, and 3. That's a pretty low kill participation for a Ricky at this stage, honestly. 30%.
I think he just saw why, though.
Yep.
Like, he shows for 1 second, gets amplified damage. He's like, well, I can't be here anymore.
I'm out, boys. He is working on the defusal, though. Big item on him. Now we'll see the Oracle get set up on follow-up damage from MSS. Demonic Purge, and looks like Mech might not be enough to keep him alive. False Promise buys him some time. We'll call it Space Creation. Is Stan King certain to fall? Credit going to MSS there. The rest of FDL, though, they're all hiding up in the tree line here. MJW looking for an Epi setup. Here we go.
Man.
They've got the Sanity's Eclipse.
It
Envy.
got canceled.
Oh, the Plasma Field. It's a 9K Plasma Field from Envy. He could just sense it coming.
Yeah, he knew, guys. He's like, you know, third time. I ain't falling for that one. I got
First
you.
one, they kill him. Second one, teammates save him. Third one, breaks the blink before they get out of fog.
Yeah. Able to handle himself now.
I don't even think they saw it. I think they just ran away. I don't know if Envy even realized the big play that he made there. Did they get the vision?
He knows he's big. He knows his big plays.
He's totally fine. Oh, that's ridiculous, though. Al is a Morphling. He should be pretty close to this E-Blade. He makes a detour. Looks like Hurricane Pike perhaps could be the first item before the E-Blade. He's at least picked up the Dragonlance. Could also be Dragonlance for now, and then you upgrade it later.
Yeah, I think it's just
just go for the value stats.
The E-Blade.
Yeah, that's true. It does buff up the E-Blade a little bit. No, he picks up the Force Staff. Okay. Hurricane Pike, second item on the Morphling. Feels a little bit defensive for the state of this game for NP. You know, like Lincoln's
It is
Hurricane
a little surprising,
Pike,
actually.
very safe.
Not something we see too often at all, actually. I'm trying to remember. I saw there were a couple games with it last night. Generally, it's when there's like you don't feel like the E-Blade's gonna do anything for you at this moment. I don't know. I don't feel like there's any like super.
I mean,
awful targets.
If they catch Ricky, that's a kill. You catch Sand King, that's pretty much a kill. I think it's a fine E-Blade game.
I'm
It's
sure
also,
he'll get laughter, but he's just gonna. But yeah, I guess he sees enough value in the gold investment there. It is true that pressure has been coming out for FDL, and that could be something they'll be able to save him right from outside that silence, right? Because as long as he can get outside the smoke cloud, then he can morph strength. So Force Staff pretty important for him this game.
Very true, my friend. 5 heroes smoked up for FDL, looking for blood down bottom. There is a deniable tower just sitting here, waiting to be killed. SVG hiding in the tree line. FDL being very patient here with this initiation. Dire will take their free glyph before the tower goes down from creep pressure.
Envy's chilling in the fountain with bots, too. Just kind of like staying off the map right now.
Like both sides just being so cautious. Big
there
items
he
being
goes.
picked
He's waiting
up.
for the gold tick for his BKB. All right.
Yeah, BKB for Envy, and also the Blink Dagger on the Timber Saw.
Oh, look at this vision, though.
13 Bloodstone charges. Oh, yeah, that's a Radiant Ward up there. Say goodnight. Also, some item progression for the Radiant side, though. OD working on his Orchid. He's pretty darn close. We talked about the Diffusal on Ricky, but even NJW, he's working towards the Aghanims, 2,000 gold. Let's see that Burrow Strike get a little bit more potent.
Yeah, gotta love that upgrade. That thing's crazy. That is so much better than the old like Epicenter stuff. Who cares about Epicenter, man? Like double distance on your Burrow Strike. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. It makes a little bit more sense. I like that whole trend in general. Just getting away from Aghanims being exclusively for... You know, there was a long while where most of the Aghanims upgrades pretty much just increased damage. You know, very similar to that. Like the Lich ult, you know, Lina ult. And now they all do something a little more interesting. You know, turning it into pure damage, all that kind of stuff. I think that was a good change for the game in general, with Ags just opening up more flexibility for heroes, making them much less one-dimensional.
I'm just waiting, man. I'm with bated breath right now.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant Vision, they don't see anything. All right, they see the replicate. Will they fall for the replicate?
Probably not. They've been fooled a couple of times this game. Illusion on illusion action. We're quiet before the storm here. MJW with great positioning, but also a little bit scary. Plasma Field.
The illusion scouting right now.
What is this?
There's like some Terrorblades going through. Obviously, no one's going to fall for the Terrorblade illusion, but...
Envy backing on out. Remember, he does have the BOTs to rejoin this battle. Wow, this is tense. Both teams on a hair trigger right now, just waiting for somebody to show their face. So much patience. At the end of it, both sides just back up. They go, all right, guys, let's play it safe.
I think the perfect initiation is way more important for FDL in this game, just because it is Sand King, right? Like, I feel like you and I cast a lot of games when Sand King first came out.
Oh yeah.
And Sand King was kind of blowing it. Like, there were some pretty bad Sand King burrows and everything. Like, his laning and shit was all fantastic, but it was, like, around the Roche pit. It was, like, the general team fights and stuff. The burrow strikes were not on the mark, but I feel like everyone's just getting way better at, like, using the, like, maybe, like, the patience of the Sand King, waiting for that big two-man setup and everything to be super game-winning, kind of like shackles and whatnot. It just feels like there's more pressure on these burrows than you might expect compared to other initiators. Like, if it's a slider, you blink, you crush, you miss, whatever, you slither away and it's fine.
Yeah.
Sand King, you're just, like, dead.
That's true. It is a big difference. And especially with a lineup like this, FDL are relying a lot on it. They tend to gravitate towards these drafts that are a little bit light on spammable stuns. And there is a lot of pressure on Sand King to just make every stun count as such. Again, both sides in this mode where they're ready to fight. It's like both sides are saying, all right, if you want to come at us, we'll fight you, but we'd prefer not to be the aggressors. And that's really produced a game of chicken. AUI just, is he skipping shotgun this game? It looks like Manta is going to be his next item. At the very least, it'll be a Yasha.
I guess he must have seen the Orchid. So can't really blame him, right? If the Lincolns gets popped and he gets silenced up. You'll see this sometimes,
if the Lincolns gets popped and his 4 staff isn't enough.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Of course, Manta's great against Orchid, but...
Yeah. And
I'm just surprised.
I feel like if he didn't have Shadow Demon, he might feel more pressure to be like, okay, time to stop clowning around. Like, I have to go for my E-Blade. I have to have some value to my team. They are still dodging fights right now, but with the Shadow Demon, at least more and more stats is just always going to be better for you.
Okay, yeah, that's true. This is like more of a late game investment. You know, another 15 minutes or so, this Morphling will be a really potent right-click carry, not just the shotgun, kind of one and done until that cooldown resets. And there is some merit to that for sure. I think this stalemate for NP is really working out okay. I mean, FDL are slowly farming a little bit more, but they're not really getting that much out of this either. And now NP have picked up a gem in the hands of the Shadow Demon. Nope, who'd they hand it to? Somebody's got it. Oh, it's the Morphling, so the illusions get it, of course.
He's chilling with it.
Yep.
Pretty obnoxious, of course.
Morphling split pushes. Is that a tier 1 tower mid? Looks like he was able to just kill. Very nice.
Yep.
Some extra value for the team there.
Yeah, there are some big crushes available here. If they ever get some good eyes on this, SVG's gonna lose his shit. Like,
what is this
They were
game,
so grouped.
dude? This is insane. This is
This
one of the
is
longest
the
stalemates I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, what is all this over here?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Terrorblade, Morphling Illusions, they're kind of migrating this direction.
I mean, we've seen a lot of passive games in this tournament. It's the new trend in NA, these low kill scores where both teams are kind of passive in the laning stage and focus on farm. But seldom have we seen this much of a 5v5. Okay, you guys stand here. We're going to stand on this side, and let's wait. They will smoke up now. MP maybe getting a little stir crazy here.
This like aegis pressure, man. No one wants to give it up. You can't go too far. Can't be on the side of the map. Oh my god, for a second I thought I heard MGW accidentally trigger Epicenter. I got scared. Alright, we're good.
Envy in the front line. Envy has picked up the Talisman of Evasion. It's a value piece for now. 25% right-click mitigation. Pretty significant. Might not be something FDL is ready for. There's a double damage room.
Can AUI get his illusions tanky enough that an OD can't just obliterate them? I don't think that's going to happen. That is one benefit of this whole OD versus this silly strategy.
The double damage room.
Arcane bonus damage.
Stays standing. This could be a really scary fight for NP with a double damage on Terrorblade. He pops the meta, and now they go right into the pit. The tables have turned. NP now on the defensive. They'll make some illusions. And they'll start to scout this out.
They know they're in there, right?
I think so. They should. Roche is dead, though. I mean, they just handed it over. I think the double damage room.
He got it! MSS!
What
a player!
Oh, shit! It was a snatched Aegis. That's a dire Roche and an Aegis for the Radiant. Okay.
He got it with the shock.
All right. Hey, look at the net worth all of a sudden.
You gotta give that, right?
After all that, I think that kind of makes it worth it for NP.
What a player. I mean, they still have to do with Aegis, Terrorblade with an Oracle, so they're still on the the back foot. But
yeah, at least meta's going to be down though, so they're going to have a little window. FDL will have a pretty tight timing to use this Aegis now. Looks like Scotty, next item of choice for Bisa. But pretty clutch, all things considered. And now Morphling up to another 2k gold. One step closer to the Manta.
This is some serious Dota 2 right now. All right, there's a Solar Crest from Envy again.
Yeah, good call. You're talking about that.
Yeah, it's nice up against the Terrorblade and the OD, so can't really blame him. BKB going to be coming out here for 747. Certainly the standard item for him.
Mm-hmm. Slow and steady wins the race, baby. Slow and steady.
It's good to see this kind of stuff, though, after like game one, right? I mean, that was a full stop, whereas this time game is much more competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Either side could definitely win this game. There's no question about that. A lot of it can be coming down to these offlaners and playmakers that are going to be allowing the chances for like Envy and AUI to make their big plays for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And two huge items now for FDL, the Scotty on Terrorblade, and of course the BKB on OD. One of the scariest items here at this current state. He's got enough items now where this OD is pretty scary in terms of doing damage, and now very survivable, pretty mobile, immune to magic. They really don't have a great way to deal with him once he pops that BKB. So this is a scary fight. Manta style now up on the Morphling.
Don't need E-Blade if you're not hitting people.
That's very true.
Not a PvE item, that E-Blade, or rather a PvP item. You're a PvE build.
Yep. Starting to maximize with illusions here and just spreading all over the place. So many Morphlings. FDL probably want to push with this Aegis, though. They don't have too much time left on it. Looks like about 2.5 minutes, so they'll get one more meta rotation. And they could try to just siege high ground slow and steady, use their Dragon Lances.
How long do we have now? 3 more minutes? Oh, 2 more minutes now.
Yep.
Okay, man. I don't think they're going to get anything out of this.
It's a small window.
Illusions. Look how far this one is. Are there bots on both? No, there's no bots on AUI, actually.
Yeah, he's been stuck to the treads. I kind of thought this might be an early BOT game, but...
There's actually no TPs on Bisa. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
They went for like a trade play down bottom right now.
NP smoke up, though. They want to wrap around the back line. Hesitant to initiate here. How do they want to start this fight? Tower taking a lot of damage. They jump right onto 747. BKB gets popped, though. Force Staff will break the link from the Razor. Envy uses his BKB also. Bisa still in the front line, taking a lot of damage, but dishing it out. Oh, he gets the Sunder off. He almost falls, but now Envy getting low. He's going to be pushed back. MJW comes in with a big ult. Actually doesn't do as much damage as you'd think, but it does force back the likes of NP, and now this tower will get shipped down by illusions. It's a 1-for-1, support for support. So far, not a bad hold for NP, but it is not over yet. The Aegis still in tow for the Timbersaw. Chakram doing a lot of damage. MJW, not enough to bring him down as SVG now counter-initiates, but it's going to be right to his death. The follow-up's not quite there. AUI brings it back in, and it's just a kill on the Aegis. Now they want to try to clean up. Aqua goes in deep. He'll survive for now as he goes into Tricks of the Trade, and the Envy Razor just gets popped by 747 as he uses the BKB and drops the hammer. Now MSS stunned up. AUI just doesn't have the damage. This Morphling, despite all the farm, still feels a little bit underwhelming. FDL, they get a top lane of barracks here. This is a tough hold for MP. And I think FDL just back out here. Probably don't want to get too greedy. Happy with just one lane. What a weird fight for NP. It just felt like they never had enough damage.
They were so close, though. Like, they almost popped the Aegis right at the very start of the fight because as that Sunder got off. Yeah, because it was a sick disruption by 1437 because you got the Terrorblade illusions, and they were just going to town. Like, they had to throw the silence down on top of Terrorblade to give the mischance to the illusions at that point. Like, that's how much damage they were doing. But, yeah, again, getting that Sunder off. I'm not sure. Did he hit an illusion? Did he hit the Ricky? I couldn't even tell.
I'm not sure what he hit with the Sunder. There were way too many units
I just
there.
looked. Yeah, exactly. It was just like a massive crowd. So,
but still, full HP. I mean, that's crippling. So NP don't hold on to the base. They do lose that top lane completely, but only one lane of barracks. I mean, certainly holdable. This game not over yet. Looking at the gold graph, it's not an insurmountable lead. And with a Slardar, you know, they could always try to hold out for next Roche, and that could make this game interesting. But I think for FDL, they probably want to end this sooner rather than later, while their BKBs are still strong. Not even give NP a chance at the Roche.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy amount of push that I don't think they need, but yeah, there's no point like letting off, right?
Yeah,
take an advantageous position. You just got a big gold infusion onto your side, so get some of those bigger items. Oh, the blink dagger from 1437 is actually huge. It could have been really big for that top fight.
Yeah,
being able to, because he died when we went for that disruption play, and it was the only way he could get in range. Obviously, look how small it is, and you're just walking. Not gonna be a fun time unless like SVG is gonna force staff him in or something. Fuel is now done for MJW. Do we have any other big items like on the support? We have the Basher on Aqua here. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty big. This is like that core kit for Ricky. Once you get Diffusal Basher, you become so annoying. You can just jump in pretty aggressively, drop a smoke cloud, jump into tricks, and pretty much just close your eyes and hope for a bash. And if you find a bash on any of the heroes in there, it makes it really easy for your team to follow up. You know, just a couple of right clicks from OD, and whoever that poor target is in a lot of trouble. This is a pretty standard but very annoying Ricky build. Just hard to deal with once he gets to this point.
He's a support that's kind of fallen off a little bit at MDL. I don't know. He's not getting as much love as I feel like he should be getting.
You mean in terms of how much they pick him, or in terms of how much space he got
like
this
showing up?
Oh yeah.
No. In terms of like MDL and like some of these bigger tournaments, like Ricky's kind of fallen off a little bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is if you pick these like tanky supports, you know, like the SVG Elder
like
Titan, for example. There's some games where you just look at it like, what's a Ricky gonna do? And it can become a really unappealing pick. You know, at least Bounty Hunter, if he has that slow start, you know, you can leech a little bit, you can do some pulls, and once you get level 6, there's some recovery. Ricky doesn't quite have that same, like, boom, let's start to recover now when he hits 6. And
just need some
that
Fortune's End plays from Stanking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Stanking.
Hey, Stanking. Mac not going to save you there. A nice little pick for NP. That's a freebie. Shotgun is finally out on the Morphling. So AUI, after delaying this long, now he's got the big burst damage.
Pew.
And they can start looking for pickoffs. I think this is honestly the item that NP have been waiting for. They drop a scan, but ooh, the Aghanims MJW. Hard to catch up to with those big burrow strikes.
Well, this looks familiar. Heroes patiently farming. Oh, is it Envy feeding to MJW again?
Uh-oh. Even the BKB used by 747, but Envy pops his BKB.
Nah, he's dead.
Give him the lobster claw. Grab him.
Dead. Hello?
Where was the lobster claw?
Guys, he had 20 health.
How did he live? OD just got so cocky there. Susie dropped the ult and just walked away. Oh my god. That is... I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like they would have done too much with that Envy kill, but I think that's just so demoralizing.
It must have been a miss that he just forgot about the Solar Crest or something, I guess. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Sand King went in for that last auto attack, and that the one did miss.
Yeah.
It looked like it, because I don't know how that didn't kill him. I mean, Sand King still hits for, whatever, 100.
Well, because like he had the BKB, so like the caustic. I don't know. There was some combination of like misses and no caustic because of the BKB and underestimation by FDL. He was at 20 HP.
That's insane. At this stage of the game, thinking about a Razor living on 20 HP is just what?
It's like one. It's literally 1% of his HP.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty significant. So here we go. NP grouping up down bottom. Now they've got the shotgun again. They are ready to fight. Let's see. Oh, the Slytherin Crush. It misses. 747 almost makes it back. He pops the BKB. Envy just gets hexed. Maybe goes in a bit too deep. He's got friends nearby, and now without a BKB, 747 could be in some trouble. Ricky goes in, MJW? Initiates, follow-up from MJW. They get the kill on Shadow Demon, but it will cost him a Ricky. It's a 1-for-1, support for support, and now ring around the rosy as MJW stays alive. Envy's BKB gets popped. He's on the run. Bisa, in the meta form, will force NP to just disengage, and that'll be the end of it. Just supports traded.
All right, high tension, man. This is when like the clown circus plays come out, you know? Things don't quite hit on the mark every time.
This game is far from over for FDL, as we're seeing here. Like, the goal graph is not that convincing. Their carries are getting pretty strong, but Morphling is still just a little step ahead of them at all times, it feels like. Roshan respawned and available. Dire, they need to get going if they want this. They're going to hand it over again. Oh, NP. They definitely could have fought there. I mean, meta's up. It's a little bit scary, but they could have at least tried to slow that down, and instead they hand it over. Now the fight breaks out. They go right in onto Bisa. He's isolated, caught by the shotgun, and that'll be the end of the Aegis. And now Bisa just comes back and walks away. Will we see a follow-up fight? Appears not. Cheese now up on the OD, so they will still find a long-lasting benefit from the Roche.
All right. Okay. I mean, still the win. Get the cheese, but that's huge for NP. That's a giant sign of life. As you said, game definitely not over. The farm is still scary just because of like where it is allocated. That big trio of Radiant heroes near the top is pretty spooky.
Yeah, dude. This is that stage, like in the draft, I remember saying, well, late game's not going to be a problem for FDL. This is about that stage where, you know, an OD and a TB, both this farmed, are pretty damn scary. Even the Sand King's got comparatively a fair bit of farm. He's on point with Envy as well as MSS here. Looks like maybe Shiva's Guard coming out for MSS. Helps with the illusions.
I like it. Yep, that's pretty standard item here. What else do we have on these? What about like supports got, man? Are you guys gonna save the game here? Mobility is definitely the biggest thing for supports at this point in the game.
I mean, Slidar's got a 4 staff.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing too much.
Oracle has a Ghost Scepter. That is new. Might help Sand King stay alive. Double-edged sword at this stage, but...
Need the BKB on
this, dude. Look at this, dude. They're smoked in the enemy base right now. Look at these bastards.
There's no creeps even. This is a cheeky little play.
And Dire are just they're headed the other way. I don't think they realize it. I think it's just NP perhaps looking to push in the other lane.
What's up with the double ward too? Like, don't they have a gem?
Oh yeah, they do. They have it. I thought one of them was a sentry at first, but it's 2 observers. Yeah, there's a gem on SVG just chilling. All right, that's a weird play. I'll give you that one. It's like they put the first one down and they were like, dude, come on, we can get one further in.
Yeah, we can go in better than that. I mean, it is huge on this push because when you come to defend here, you're not necessarily going to see either of these wards. I mean, you might see this one, I would say, but you definitely won't see this one if you're fighting in this area. So that's definitely the logic behind it.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, once you see this one, they don't actually see the other one yet.
And SVG sees it immediately. Well done, Slardar. Very well done. That's one of those moments where MP is probably like, huh, that's peculiar. 2 observer wards, you say?
When did they put those down?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, this is getting into something else, I tells you. And this really is only game number 2.
BKB up on the Morphling. Magic immunity. He is, well, maybe not a complete critical mass, but getting to that point where he is effectively 6-slotted. Still has room for a few upgrades, but...
Yeah, bots and moon shared pretty much at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Come on, y'all. Envy with 2k gold. Haven't seen an upgrade on him in a while. MSS should be pretty close to the Shivas by now. Yeah, 2,400. Not too far. Another BKB now for the Radiant. Coming up on MJW himself.
This game only gets better if there's a base race, honestly. Like, or some sort of a TP situation. I love TP situations. That's just like the golden stuff, man.
I mean, that's like the Envy classic, dude.
We don't want to bring it up, but like Susie's lacking one right now. You know, Envy's bottom.
All right, Envy has the only pair of bots in the game.
Let's see if MJW's able to get something done here. No, they'll see MJWs now, so now Envy is out of there.
BKB on Terrorblade. Dude, this next team fight is going to be just the reveal of so many items. There are going to be multiple 10-second BKBs. We're getting to the point now where the cores that you wouldn't normally think of BKB as a core item on, they have them, you know, like your Sand King. I think this might be another one of these fights where a lot of damage is exchanged, 2 supports dies, and both teams just run away. That's been the trend of this game so far. 23 kills in 48 minutes. My God, Bloodthorn now out on OD.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I've never noticed that it organizes your boots first on that tab, like the item tab.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, wait.
It's just
No, it does. If you have boots, the boots go first.
always. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I have never noticed that. That must be new.
I think it is. Newish. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, newish. That's so neat.
BOT's up on Morphling, baby.
It doesn't do it for like
Hey!
blinks though.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't do it for like blinks. That would be like just as important.
Blink is always second slot or something?
Yeah.
If you don't have Blink, then it's 4 staff. Are you going to write a whole hierarchy of item priorities and send it to the frog? I'm sure they'll listen, dude. That's, you know. What is it? Ice Frog at Gmail?
Don't, guys, man, don't tell everyone. Come on.
Yeah, it was only in the load screen of the game for 10 years. Sure that one never got out. Oh.
An exclusive club.
Oh, man.
Yeehaw.
All right. Well,
Double
it
split
is.
Push, Morphling's Terror Blades.
It's the old Lotus
Wow.
Orb for
At least there's
MSS.
no Radiances. Can we just be happy about that, honestly?
Yeah, no
Radiance can just be removed from existence.
Hey, why are you so mean about Radiance?
Because it creates all the worst things about Dota.
Yeah, I love RNG low % misses. That's fun.
Yeah,
That adds a lot of skill cap to my experience.
I wouldn't mind if we just get rid of that, too.
I just don't understand why it's there. I mean, it fits the lore, but it doesn't really...
It fits the lore, like you're on fire, so it's hard to hit stuff?
No, well, it's Radiance. It's really bright, so when you're looking at the person, you get a little bit blinded, so there's a small % of the time you miss because your pupils aren't dilated right. I think that works. You know, that's fitting.
All right, I like it. So what's going on, guys? Everyone's SVG. All right, he's coming back
FDL,
up.
they're thinking about a play. They're smoked up. They're looking for the opening. They really want to do this wraparound into the base. It's like they've been planning this strategy out, but it might feel just a little bit forced. They drop another ward down. Here we go.
This looks
AUI.
familiar.
He walks right into it, and he dies immediately. Oh, my. No buyback on the Morphling. 1437 does have one, but
What?
this time it works.
Oh, no,
Morphling,
he
now he
buyback.
has enough gold for the
He took
buyback.
it.
Okay,
God.
it's close. Envy pops his BKB. They go in on the Bisa. Now the BKB gets popped the other way. Sunder does a little bit of mitigation. BKB's popped aplenty, but it's FDL now on the back foot. Shotgun coming out. The bot back Morphling coming online is Envy, taking some damage, but still survives. Nice crush from SVG as 747 comes out of the Astral Imprisonment, and now FDL are repelled. 2 heroes down, and they could still lose more here. Bisa caught. Stan King caught as well. It's 3 dead with Bisa left all by his lonesome. He won't be able to find a kill, and he is dead. Multiple heroes on FDL lacking buyback right now. NP should be able to get a lot out of this, and they need to. They had to burn 2 buybacks themselves to make that hold possible. And it is a hold. Tier 3 tower mid still standing. Minimal damage to the base. Okay.
Yeah, did it, man. I like what they did from FDL. Come on up, trying to use like the ward for vision to see if there's like the immediate hero and whatnot, and that's what lets them get the kill onto AUI. But the buyback, so giant wipe coming up from the side of NP. That's just, I'm not sure. I guess when you're in this position, it's pretty hard to fight into a team, right? You have like all these structures in between you. You can't even attack the tower. So
Yeah.
like they got that big pick, but everyone from NP was just responding so fast.
Yeah. And the other problem is you're deep committed. So when NP starts buying back in that situation, we'll see MJW just get popped down bottom. When they start buying back, I mean, they can get into the fight immediately. It's like a buyback, a blink, and you've got an enemy right there that you can start laying into. And that's a little bit different if you're sieging, you know, from down here or something. You can't quite use buybacks in that same manner. So NP, they get a lot out of the buybacks. They split push down bottom. They finish off the melee barracks and leave an illusion behind to get the range. So it ends up being a pretty even exchange, all things considered. Roche coming up in less than a minute. NP hot to get to the pit, but will not fish their wish here and find him respawned.
So they deem it not important enough to buy back. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just fearing the worst of like half-ass buybacks and taking a fight off of that, not having like full supports and whatnot.
There
And
we
now it's
go.
finally NP time. Man, when was the last time NP were on this half of the map?
It's been a while. It seems like they've been on the back foot
only
for
been on
so
this
long.
territory.
But they've got a 5v4. They catch 747. He uses the BKB. Stan King with the follow-up. It costs him his life, but he does get off the false promise. Allows the OD to finish off Slardar. Gems on the ground, but now OD in a world of hurt takes so much damage from the false promise.
This is
Bisa now hexed up, taking a lot of damage. Follow-up burst from the shotgun. He uses the BKB. He does have a Sunder, brings Envy low. Now BKB used by Envy. Trying to do what he can to stay alive. Bisa not going to be magic immune for much longer. Envy just trying to stay alive, but MJW won't let that happen. Bisa very low, just one more auto attack, 60 HP, but they can't get in. The buyback now from 747 drops the hammer, cleans it up, and now FDL, they actually find a fight beyond a hold. NP completely repelled MSS, the lone survivor, TP's home. So they do need to use a buyback.
Scenario.
They had to use a buyback on OD, though. Remember that.
Yeah, but this is where you waited. You didn't use your buybacks when they pushed in, and you know, like, NP went in deep before their buybacks were back. Because now the timers are off for, they know there's no buyback on Shadow Demon or Morphling. That's actually huge. Like, Shadow Demon's a giant part of their defense up against this Terrorblade, up against the initiation from MJW, and then, of course, the Morphling.
Yeah.
Like, this is super bad. They wouldn't know that there's no buyback on the Razor. I assume Envy just bought out because AUI didn't have it.
Yeah, they'll use the glyph. They're probably going to have to sack this lane of barracks here. Bisa does not have meta for over a minute. But it really doesn't matter. Is this actually game? Can NP hold here without the Morphling for 40?
They can definitely... I think they can hold one lane.
Okay. I mean, are FDL even going to go for it, I guess, is the follow-up question. They could just back out here and play it safe, but no, they want the crippling damage. BKBs have come back off cooldown.
Like, MSS needs to go in or something.
They need to hold now. They've already used the glyph. This is it. SVG gets a stun on two. MSS with big follow-up damage.
Oh, they're going for it.
But now they just want the megas. And they're probably going to get it. Bisa just pops the BKB. Envy with his in the back line, trying to find some kills. Sunder brings Envy low, and now he's committed deep out of the base, stunned up and brought down. The follow-up, though, SVG and MSS with a huge burst of damage. They get two. Now the instant buyback from Bisa. Rose stays alive from the epicenter on MJW. Able to blink out of the disruption. Morphling up in one. Bisa wraps around, actually finds the kill. Now Megas have come out. NP still have a play here, but they need to beeline it down one of these lanes and try to make something happen. They've already lost their tier 4 towers. Their base is in shambles, and now FDL just head to the Roche pit. This is feeling pretty over for the Dire, I have to admit here, Trent.
Yeah, Mega Creeps, good commitment there from the side of FDL. They're not calling it quite yet, Team NP, but, I mean, that's what happens. You push out too deep without buybacks. Try to go for kind of like a YOLO play with Scythe on Envy and get that big fight down bottom, but once you lose that, this game just became extremely difficult.
Yeah, tough break. It seemed like for a moment there NP could do it, but just getting too cocky down in that bottom fight, as you mentioned, before their buybacks came up. Seems like they still could be interested in a split play of sorts. Morphling picks up his upgraded BOTs. They're not going to tap out quite yet. Aegis of the Immortal in the hands of OD? Nope, it's Bisa. Okay.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Because typically it's the opposite way, right? You get the...
Maybe because his buyback... No, their buybacks are 2 minutes apart, so it's not a huge disparity.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, generally now that Metamorphosis doesn't go through the Aegis, you see the complete opposite, where you just give the cheese to the Terrorblade every time, because then he just obviously gets all the benefits of an Aegis for cheese.
Yeah.
Interesting. But doesn't want to get chain stunned, I guess. Not that there's that many stun. There's a Scythe. Whatever, man.
With a fresh buyback,
I'm not
I
gonna
guess
worry about it.
I think it's probably just the fresh buyback thing. So this way, if he dies, he at least can come back to life, and you know, it gives them just a little bit of a safety net because he is still their big, hard-hitting, you know, intimidator, their bruiser, if you will. NP able to hold the megas. I guess we have seen comebacks of this proportion before. With the bottom lane of barracks down, if they're ever able to get some lane control, they could potentially run for the throne, but this is like
a farm bot situation. Like, you just sit in your base, everyone gets bots, and you hope the enemy screws up like 6 times.
I mean, they are missing buybacks. That's the thing. So if FDL does screw the pooch and NP kill their 2 big cores, OD and TB are both lacking on buybacks. So there's a sliver of hope from that perspective, but this is so hard to execute.
Look at them just grouping. All right, here's the smoke play. They didn't have any vision on that from the Radiant side. We'll see if they can get ourselves a big old pick here. SVG, no pressure, man. But you're oh, God, that's my brain.
Yeah, not quite.
Oh, God.
Not quite. MJW.
I mean, that happens.
Catch on MJW would have been pretty big there, I have to admit.
It would have been great, too, but they just popped BKBs.
Wait, which BKB was that? Slaughter
Envy.
Oh, Envy BKB. Okay, that's
after
it.
SVG jumped, like.
All right.
Well,
it's up in 30 seconds. Don't worry. It's only 5 seconds there, big guy.
Yeah, that's right.
It's coming back.
It was the efficiency play. Trying to get that thing low and low and low.
All right. Dragonlance up on Ricky. 0-4 is getting serious.
Oh, I like that. Never going to be able to afford the BKB with buybacks, so let's get some stats.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen a couple of Rickies doing this lately.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's not even a surprise anymore to see Meepos get the Dragonlance. Same kind of an idea. It's great value stats on a hero that can really benefit from it. All right. FDL. Buybacks starting to come up. I mean, this is... The scariest part about this is FDL, it seems like they don't really know what to do with their card guys. We already got Megas. They don't have any more tier 4s.
I think they're just not making the mistake of buybacks.
Yeah, like they're waiting
like,
for their buybacks to come.
Anywhere.
And NP have like 0 options. I mean, they've tried already once to sort of smoke out and look for the jump. It didn't work. I think they're also okay waiting out the Aegis, which is very close to expiration. The Aegis will expire before Terrablade's buyback is available. So... Small window, perhaps. Now smoke. FDL. This is you.
Yeah, only 30 seconds till OD buyback, so that's probably good. All right, nice, nice. Oh, the illusion. Did they notice? Did they notice? I don't think they noticed.
All right, again, FDL with the sneaky play. Got to do it sneaky deaky like it gets scanned out by the Dire.
Scan, they know the plays.
NP baiting it out right now. Aegis reclaimed in 30. MJW ready to make the jump. He misses the stun. They pop the Oracle. It's a great start to the fight. Now the BKBs come. The hammer from 747 brings MSS low. He will suicide and then buy back. It's still a 5v4. Dire with the advantage. MJW gets off an epicenter, but doesn't really do that much damage. And now he gets caught. It'll be the end of him. Uh-oh, FDL. We're losing a lot of resources here. Aegis very close to despawning. Razor will catch the Ricky as 747. Maybe in a world of hurt also. Waveform out. AUI catches him. And it's a near team wipe for FDL. Bisa, the Aegis carrier, the only one that survives. His Aegis is gone.
Oh boy. We got ourselves some Dota 2. I love this. I was so excited for this series, and it is certainly living up to it, man. Great pick of the Oracle again. Getting him first off, that is the dream scenario. There's no one else he could burst that quickly. That's going to be so valuable. To go down so fast. They have the buybacks. Terrorblade, actually, even post-timer, he won't even tick into it. So, might want to be sneeze, get a little bit of farm going here. Get up into that.
So, a lot of buybacks here for FDL. They'll probably use all of them, I would imagine. It's kind of nuts that NP are able to hold so well against Megas.
I think they want to see everyone here before they guarantee buyback from Susie. And Ricky doesn't want to buy back because it's 5 seconds. Yeah. Oh, these are awkward times. MJW 15 seconds. They're kind of like, oh, do I have to?
Yeah, you really don't want to use it at this stage if you don't have to. They pop the glyph now. It will be a tier 3 tower down. Looks like they'll hold the buyback on Sand King at this stage. And of course, Megas versus 2 lanes is still a world of difference, but this makes the life of NP so much easier. They will finish off the barracks, and now they'll retreat. No buybacks used by FDL. And remember, NP did have to use a buyback on the Timber Saw to make that defense happen. But in the end, the Dire side showing a surprising sign of life. I'm kind of in shock here, Trent. I thought this game was over 15 minutes ago, but
it's a part of being of watching these teams. You know what I mean? It's not even like a joke at this point anymore. It's just simply true. Like you get involved, you know, you start to feel for one of these teams like that. It's always got envy on it for some reason, and they just pull out these ridiculous games that you don't even understand what the hell's going on. And this is one of them. Yeah, usually they're on the other end, right? Usually they're FDL right now, but can they actually pull out the victory here? I don't know. I think FDL made the wise choice, knowing that they have the full lane. There's no way they can double racks, right? Because they couldn't take this tower. So sacking all your buybacks probably wouldn't be the best idea. I don't think they could have. Even if like if you all buy back, they're just gonna run, right? So why put yourself on that 7-minute timer when they can't mega you?
Yeah, especially when there's a tier 2 still in the top lane. I mean, FDL have a little bit more of a safety net. So yeah, from that perspective, I can understand it. Is now you've got a buyback advantage, and it feels like FDL really just need to win one fight. I mean, and that last fight started from NP just because of that super clutch scan. I mean, that thing was like, that's 10 out of 10 right there.
Yeah, gonna be a long night. Yeah, that's right. It's what, 2-14 for Bisa right now.
Oh,
Not if we win, guys.
I mean, Envy does have a point in that regard.
Oh, jeez.
So this Twitch Prime thing is pretty cool. I guess if you have it, you get a free sub every 30 days. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, I guess if you have Amazon Prime, it's automatic. Oh, nice. They said go. Oh, good. I felt like, oh, nope. NP's like, nah, bro.
So, yeah, it's included free with Amazon Prime.
Yeah, they're really enjoying themselves, these Amazon Primers.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're here.
Okay, we're back in. All right, FDL, slow and steady. They have all of their buybacks now. It's just Timbersaw who's on cooldown, at least in terms of timers. Of course, Ricky still short a little bit of gold. But everybody pulling it up quite a bit. You know, FDL were so hesitant to try and make that play happen at the high ground before. Now it seems even more likely that we'll see this stalemated out till maybe another Roche.
Yeah, that's true, actually. 1 more minute till we know the full timing. I didn't catch the timer on the side, so get the fun excitement of how early will it be. Dire side vision gonna be super crucial in a game like this. They've gone for some maybe craftier wards, right? This one not giving the best eyes overall, but as long as you can spot some heroes there and there, maybe you'll have an idea of what's going on in the Roche pit. Not likely to be de-warded, as you can see the Radiant are just chucking some sentries all over the place. They still... Oh, they do have a gem on stanking now. I see he throws some wards around.
Just continuing to hold. I mean, for them, the waiting game, I think for the next 3 minutes at least, they're happy to play the waiting game. Get that buyback on MSS. He is still on 16 Bloodstone charges, so another thing to keep in mind, even if he dies, he's going to respawn pretty quick.
Look at these bots, though, man. Okay, so bots 2 don't go to the front. There you go, guys. Wow. Science. Good to know. Val, fix your code. Either way. So
that is
they
weird.
have 4
You're
pairs.
right, though. You are very right.
That's because apparently I just never noticed, and it's been in the game forever, so clearly it was been in the game longer than bots 2, I reckon. Idiot. Idiot caster. Twitch Prime. More spam out here from Scotty Illusions once more. What do we have? We have Sandy's Eclipse is the big thing here, right? Yeah, the hammer was pretty well dropped. I think if Oracle wasn't the first one person, they win that fight top. Like, the hammer was in a good spot. Everything else was in a good spot. They just didn't have that giant false promise Terrorblade or OD shredding through on top of anyone with like total immunity, right?
Yeah.
These the Hex was a huge item purchase on Envy too. That was really nicely done. I think that's been paying off quite a bit.
I mean, right now in the next fight, it's like I see Oracle as that key hero. The last fight was ideal for NP, not only because of the scan, because they also just blew up Oracle right away, but like Stan King has the power to save the fight. A big false promise is a game changer. But of course, that is the hero that NP are gunning for. Are there any other like key items that are going to pop out in this game that we need to wait for? Like Abyssal Blade on Ricky, or like maybe a Hex on Timbersaw, or like anything else that could, like Rapier? Are we in Rapier territory yet?
It's so hard for the Dire because so much of their game is about boots of travel and movement and all that kind of stuff, and then buybacks is the hugest part. So it's like, if you're someone like SVG right now, you can't necessarily buy an item because you might need 2 buybacks and you're a Slardar, so you don't farm very well. So his whole pool of gold right now basically needs to be saved just for buybacks, and, and that makes it hard to get those nice auxiliary items.
Yeah, Divine Rapier, just a casual auxiliary item.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, Envy is not that far away from it. Of course, as you're saying with buyback, that's a solid 2K gold almost, 1900 right now. But he's like getting into that territory where big item purchases like that could come out. It's such a scary game for it, though. Like this, for FDL, I could see why they wouldn't want to buy one, because if you lose it, then the game is actually kind of over the other way.
AUI's helping out now, though. He just bought like 7 tomes.
Yeah.
Who gets them? Oh, Envy. Greedy, dude. Gotta get us that level 25. Need those stats. Get a tank up here. No supports.
That's what you do at this stage, though. I mean, gold.
All right, they're
has
past 16. Who cares?
some diminishing returns. Just buy up the sentries. It's almost a max Roche respawn, too, and of course, that is what FDL is waiting for.
Yeah. So they know it's coming any second, so they'll come right into the pit. Aqua just... he's like literally just sat his character here 2 minutes ago. Been chilling in the pit the whole time.
They had a cheese already, and this should be just a quick Roche. No way NP can really contest this.
Yeah, I don't think MSS is sniping this one.
So more smart, methodical play here from FDL.
This time, Visa just too valuable on the slots here. Not giving up any of them for a Aegis or a cheese.
Okay, so they give it to Susie. The
Then
Aegis, I mean.
Probably hoping for the cheese pass off, I would reckon.
They have 2 cheeses, so it seems likely they could do the handoff. 1 on each support. And buyback on MSS
really nice
is
too.
here.
Yeah.
Envy ditches his buyback and goes all in on a refresher.
Okay, alright, this is like the psych last time. Let's go, man.
Potentially huge here from Envy, but this is a big risk going all in like that.
Yeah, keeping 747 and Beast up in the front lines. Clearing out these illusions, but again, that Aegis, very important here. Slowly closing in on the throne.
Yeah, there's a point where they
look
can
at
almost
MJW.
rush the throne. They have to force out the glyph first, though. Oh, man.
They see the refresher, so they should know there's no buyback, which means Envy will probably be the initiation target.
Do they know that there's no buyback, though? MJW loses his blink.
They should. I mean, he just bought a refresher. I'm sure they know.
It's pretty expensive.
Or at least they would be suspected.
Suspicious, yeah. The throne is taking damage, though. Like, this slow and steady from FDL is kind of working. Just spamming illusions into it. I mean, this is taking illusion spam to a whole nother level.
I mean, they're the ones who picked Shadow Demon Morphling, honestly.
Yep, here we go. They're going to find one. It's almost MJW, but False Promise keeps him alive. Now the BKBs get popped. He'll try to channel the ult before he falls. He gets it off, but the damage is minimal. Stan King dies on the backside. The throne still reasonably healthy. It's not a good fight for NP. The Shadow Demon dies, but he buys back. And now FDL in shambles. They have to retreat.
Envy. He lives.
Wow, the throne still at about half HP, or it's alive. NP make the hold. I mean, they use another buyback. They kill 2 supports. Can they start to push out off this, though, or will this just be a continued stalemate? I mean, they didn't even get the Aegis on OD. So FDL are actually not in that bad of a spot to just rinse and repeat and try that again. They've still got 3 minutes.
Yeah, these are not your level 25 cores or anything like that. The respawn timers aren't that long on the Rick and the Oracle. And then there was the buyback from MJW, though, which is kind of important. But similarly, there was one from 1437. So, yeah, I think they're going to want to go back in with this Aegis for sure. The False Promise, oh, that was so huge on the sinking.
And it was so clutch. I mean, it looked like he was dead for sure.
Yeah.
Last second, got it off.
Pretty cool on Sand King, too, just because, like, he went right into that BKB and the epicenter, too. Got a ton of damage, actually, is the reason that Rose even went down.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice self-astral.
Is there going to be any follow-up, though? Nope. Still happy just to push back 747 for now, get a little breathing room in the base. 70 minutes, baby.
So Envy's now rocking, because of this refresher, he has double set. Oh, MJW, that's the buyback.
He pops the BKB.
This.
He survives. This could be bait, though. SVG with a huge stun. Connects on 2. Now 747 getting low. This could be the end of the Aegis. Did he use his BKB before he died? No. That was SVG's. Okay. This is big for NP.
Can come back in.
And now I think they just retreat. Happy to force out some BKBs. They get the Aegis. And again, this game levels out a little bit. If they kill the Sand King there,
That was, yeah.
That's like almost game ending the other way. But even just getting the Aegis, I mean, that was like what FDL waited for to try to have an advantage to make a push happen. And now without that, I mean, how do you...
There's still 50 seconds till double Scythe, double BKB, and everything from Envy, so he won't be as powerful. Remember, he only lived with 500 HP with double everything the last fight. So this is pretty scary for him, I would say, not having that refresher up.
SVG, another stun on 2 on the back line.
Oh,
Ricky
the Astral Save!
trying to harass. 747 still alive for now. The Hex comes out. MJW getting low, but now it's MSS, the one that's low. He dies. He'll be forced to buy back, but they get the Sand King. That's a dieback for him. And speaking of Kings, it's Sand King. He falls. He still has his buyback, but he's back at home. Bisa gets dropped, and it's NP coming out big. FDL don't have the resources. Astral buys him some time, but this will be the end of 747. They have 4 buybacks available. Timbersaw, did he die back? Or did he just never had one to begin with? Oh, no, he diebacked.
No,
okay.
he diebacked. He bought back in for sure.
Yep. So it was a dieback on him. Now a buyback from Bisa, just realizing he's going to have to use it. Just wants to get it on cooldown as quickly as possible. I think it's a good play.
Yeah, he can feel relatively safe, sticking like further on this side of the map from his opponents and try and keep these lanes pushing as far as he can. Just not allowing too much of a YOLO play, but this should save the buybacks from all his allies, I do believe. Yeah, the illusion push itself.
Never too late for a Vlad's, I guess. SVG gets a good team item. A little extra damage. Could actually be a deal breaker if this ends up at any kind of base race situation. Items like Vlad's AC all of a sudden have some added value.
Yeah. Once you already have 4 staff as like a slider support kind of guy, BKB, not too much else that he'll really need to go for. His own Ghost Scepter wouldn't be the worst thing, but I think Vlad's a really nice one. And they are pushing up. And oh, this tower, this is very nice. The side of NP. They are just backdooring.
I mean, at this point, they've got the damage, so why the hell not? I guess it's a little bit risky. Ricky on his way up. They actually glyph this. I'm a little surprised to see a glyph come out here, honestly.
If you can save, like, because it is the back door, right? So I think they're thinking that they might be able to rotate in time.
And it looks like they will. Okay, the glyph's worth it, at least for now.
That's big. That's the protection, man.
All right.
It means they can't just cut through here and mega you.
Yeah.
Of course, they can just, throw you if the creeps are here. So still got to watch out for that one.
Well, something to keep in mind, perhaps. That's a pretty good window here. NP, if they win a fight in the next 5 minutes, hey! No glyph on the Radiant. Oh, man. This is nuts. I don't know if I've seen a game hold out megas like this.
For a while.
For a while, yeah. Of course, we've all seen games I
think Envy might have been in one of those.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. That was like Cloud9 versus the Shadows Deluxe or whatever that team was.
Yeah, it wasn't Shadows of the Past. It was some other Shadows team.
Yeah, Shadow Prime or something.
Shout out to Shadows of the Past, by the way. That's an NA classic.
All right, the hold continues.
Oh, it was SF9. That's Scary Faces. That's who it was.
Ah, yes, that is it. Scary Faces. The 3-hour hold. Eerily reminiscent here.
If you counted the pre-game time on that, it was 322 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you add the minute and a half, it'd be 322. So. Good stuff right there, guys.
That's wild, actually.
Yeah.
That is cosmic fate. My God. Well, 4 minutes on that TB buyback. Roche.
Dude, this is just tactical. Even if NP thought they had no chance at winning this, it's like they have a UK player right now. The later these games go, the easier it gets for NP.
I mean, in theory, yeah, it's true. I mean, Bisa, he's on UK time, so it's it sounds a little bit silly, but there is some truth to that. All right, well, a lot of gold up here. Are we going to see another round of core items? Still looks like no rapier on the horizon. I'll take a look at current gold here. 9K up on Morphling. He's eating the Moon Shard. He is pretty capped out. I don't know. I mean, maybe you ditch the Lincolns for a Butterfly or something. There's already an MKB up on the Terrorblade, though, so maybe that Butterfly.
Right?
On Morphling? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
for the base hold refresher.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. When you're defending base, those kind of wardrobe items, it's a little bit easier to get back and get them out of your stash and stuff. There is some merit to that for sure.
Envy that long-range sight.
Envy, he's going to pop the refresher.
And they get nothing out of this? That is scary. That's a long time, guys. That's 3 full minutes now.
That's weird.
That's Roche.
Oh my. Envy, a little trigger happy once more. Okay. Well, again, FDL, I mean, they've tried this so many times now and been pushed back that I don't even know if it's going to matter, honestly. Are they going to push again before that thing comes up? Roche?
I doubt it. I would just go for the Roche, right? Sit the old Aqua inside here. Head on in as your Ricky player. You don't have a Helmet Dominator to this game, so you're the creep.
All right, FDL. Grouped up as 5. I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point. I feel like we've seen this a few times already.
Yeah, it's a little bit of deja vu right now.
This is...
Suddenly this little timer at the top says 77.
Getting eerie.
Nothing's really making sense anymore. Yo, the map's there's no map breaking going on, though.
Yeah, not a lot of insane particle heroes this game. No Darkseer, no...
well, you'd think the Razor.
Yeah, that's...
with that cosmetic? I mean, I know they fixed a bunch of them, but...
Yeah, I don't know, actually. You're right. That cosmetic does look pretty particly. Particle-y.
MJW's fine.
Yep, thought he might get caught for a moment there, but dude, he's so mobile with Yule's Blink, Force, and BKB, plus the Ags. Like, trying to catch the Sand King is no easy task. He has to be pretty overextended for that to be an easy kill.
Buybacks are getting a little slack here. I gotta say on the Radiant, you know. 747, he's gone for his own refresher at this point. It's like, what's the point of buyback? Sand King. Well, he's got a blink. It'll be very important for him. But those 2 missing buybacks and the timer and some gold. Not quite there for Bisa, but there is a Roche. I don't even know. At this point, it's not even that important. Like,
yeah,
it's
dude,
not even going on your cores.
We're getting to the point where the Aegis just doesn't matter. I mean, we've seen now a couple of times these fights start and supports get popped, so I think putting that Aegis on Sand King is...
Yeah, I think
maybe
MJW
not
or
a
Sand King.
bad idea.
Ricky?
They give it to Ricky of all heroes. Okay.
I guess the slots are too precious. I don't know. I feel like MJW, if he ditched that Scepter,
I mean,
the Yules.
Give Ricky the wards and let Sand King carry that thing. I mean, he's carrying 2 cheeses right now. There you go. So they'll hand a cheese over to Bisa, and Sand King will just carry around his boots. Okay. So they're going to do Raid Boss TB for this. Double cheese.
Oh, there's a
40-second cooldown.
Oh, I love Dota.
The Morphling refresher, okay.
Oh, this is good stuff. It's so hard to get out of the situations with Dire, though. Like, think about how long have we been locked in this. They did get that 1 mid-rax, which is pretty huge, but there were buybacks available at that point, and then they would have just backed off, and we would have just been back into stalemate again anyway. The Throne, again, despite all this time to regen, it still has been taking periodic chip damage from all these creeps.
But don't worry, it regens.
Do you think if they had a Shadow Demon, they could... I don't know. I wonder if... Nah, you could just kill these illusions still, I'm pretty sure. You have Timber Saw. There's enough damage at this point. There's a Morphling.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably, like, slowly chip it down, but I don't think it would be that effective. That strategy is a little bit better when it's a multi-pronged attack. When it's like this and there's just one thing to defend, all of a sudden illusions get a lot easier to deal with. Because they don't have any sneaky area, right?
You know what? Okay, all right. I've got the play here, guys. So this is your ultra late game play. You ready for this one? This is where MJW buys a Manta, all right? And then he has it on the Courier, so he creates an illusion of himself. Oh, yeah. And then he walks it into the base.
Okay, and then just baits the BKBs.
Yeah, and he baits everything.
Hey, man. Games have been won in weirder fashion.
Okay, no. They need a Manta on him and a Glimmer on like one of the supports to glimmer the Sand King to really sell it, you know? That's the play.
Force staff the illusion in.
You guys are welcome. You guys can send Moonduck a video when you win a game with that, please.
Yeah. I have done that before, where you're playing Lich, you know, and they make a Manta illusion, you put Ice Armor on it, so they think that's the one, you know, the little...
that's a good one.
The little mind plays.
All right. SVG crushes onto Mr. Aqua.
All right, sick Aegis.
Down, boys.
I mean, the Aegis, it's a non-factor. And are they going to get him again? That's a Hex.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Oh, nice cleanse with the Fortune's End. Now BKBs get popped. Bisa's going in. Envy, he's taking a lot of damage. MJW now forced to jump back. AUI, he's in pretty deep. That'll be the end of the Morphling. He's got the buyback, though. He'll use it straight away. Really odd fight. Now all the BKBs are down, though.
He didn't even get his BKB off.
I think FDL need to be very careful now. Disruption, that catches one. MJW gets low, but the burst damage not quite enough. Shadow Demon dies to the OD. He'll hold his buyback for now. And NP...
They'll come back in.
They will make a hold. Buyback from the Shadow Demon now. 0-4, taking some damage.
All right, so we have no Epi. Eclipse is still up.
I mean, FDL are just
wearing down.
They just can't do it. They're just completely repelled here.
I'm really feeling for Bisa right now.
Yeah, I mean, they forced 2 buybacks, but I mean, we need like a refresher counter at this point. I'm getting overwhelmed with cooldown management. So there is.
Don't you wish the refreshers were organized in a column, and the along with the blink daggers?
Well, Bisa still has both of his cheeses. I mean, they forced 2 buybacks there, so it's like you want to say that that's good for FDL, but I feel like at this point, any moment that NP hang on longer is kind of good for NP. Like they've been at wit's end pretty much this entire game. I think this whole game is just a strategy to try and demoralize FDL going into the next game. It's like you get rolled in game 1. In game 2, you are barely able to close out a game that should have taken you like a third the amount of time to finish. I don't know where that puts your mental state going into game 3. You know, maybe NP just banking on the Bisa time zone strat. That is sort of what it feels like. I don't know what to say here, Trent. I don't know what's happening. I wasn't trained for this.
No one is. One of those rare occasions, right? Yeah. We just wait.
We're gonna
to see what they can do.
What's Ricky working on here? He's got to have an nope. He's got a BKB. Okay, so he did buy something. Ricky BKB. Honestly, I thought he would have gone for Abyssal over the BKB. Just jump in and try and lock down the Shadow Demon or something. Octarine Core Shadow Demon. That's pretty cool.
Damn, dude. That is some serious commitment. I guess he has no buyback anyway, right?
Correct.
5 minutes. So what's the Shadow... All right, this is sick. This is definitely some theory craft shit right here.
1.8.
So 1.875. All right. Shadow Poison's going on here. Really huge for all his items, though, for the most part, of course. Like the Blinks, the Force Staff.
Yeah. And Disruption. It's definitely a big deal for Disruption. Yeah. See some illusions now. Just go in onto the throne, and it looks like FDL want to do this the slow, old-fashioned way with some illusions. 747, he steps forward, needs to be a little careful. Envy pops the BKB, steals a decent amount of damage with the Link. That's not much follow-up, though. Now BKB, used by Ricky. He jumps in, tricks of the trade. Both teams being very cautious to commit here.
And there's no glyph, too.
Morphling pops the Ricky. Okay, that BKB didn't do much. And Ricky does not have buyback. He went all in on the BKB. SVG, they catch MJW. Now the BKBs get popped. Sand King's down. They jump in onto Sand King. Hex, he's got a false promise, but he won't use it. Oh, no. This is so bad for FDL, Trent. What happened? They've got 2 heroes dead without buyback now.
They're just, I don't know, they're forced in this spot where it's, you have to fight here, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have the best vision as to what's happening to the rest of NP. They just keep getting caught. They can't find that initiation angle on the Sand King to actually burst somebody down. The pressure seems to be getting to them.
Let's go, NA Dota. Like, this is, I have high hopes for this LAN. Hope we get an 80-minute game on the main stage, because this is ridiculous. And the sad thing is for NP, they're probably not even going to be able to find out that 2 of the 3 dead heroes don't have buybacks. Ricky's going to respawn before they even get a creep wave to the river. And Sand King might not even have to use his buyback. Still a tier 2 tower standing up top. Game crashed. You don't say.
Round 52 coming soon. Well.
This is unreal.
So, is there the eventual push from NP? How does it happen? Is this one of those games? Because, like, as you guys probably recall, or if you were smart enough not to do this, the end of that big 3-hour-long game was a draw. They actually called it, right? They just said, like, both teams, it was a stalemate.
Wait, no, I thought, no, Cloud9 won at the end, didn't they?
I don't think so. Isn't that the game that it was determined that it was a draw? Oh, great. Now am I wrong? But anyway.
Well, I can't remember. I always thought Cloud9 was able to squeak it out at the end, but I actually don't remember. I thought one of the teams did eventually win, though. I don't remember this draw nonsense. Get Purge in here, man. He was there.
I know, Purge and OD, right?
I think so. That was the dream team.
Because Scary Face or Cloud9, they've definitely lost. Scary Face just defended their base the entire time, and I'm pretty sure C9 just gave up.
Okay, well, let me. Somebody just made a good point in chat. I want to get your opinion. Throne regeneration, yay or nay?
Oh, I'm thinking of a different game. No, I am super wrong. That was a different game. That was Scary Faces eventually did win that game.
Scary Faces won it. Okay,
yeah, Scary Faces won it. There was a different game where there was a. I'm pretty sure C9 wasn't that one too. I think that was.
I feel like I remember watching the I didn't see that game live. I remember the next day seeing the highlights and then seeing the throne explode at the end. That was
yeah. That was a different one. There was one where they actually did just say like, all right, screw this, like.
Okay.
We're not playing this anymore because both teams just kind of called it a draw. I believe that was 6.89 if I am correct. Or sorry, 6.8 whatever what was the awful patch? 6.83 sniper.
I don't remember the numbers, but yeah, that sounds about right in the ballpark. I don't know how people do that, man. I'm so like you say a patch number and I'm just like that doesn't mean anything to me, dude. Give me some more context, you know? Like, oh yeah, the troll sniper, I remember that, but the number is just to me it's arbitrary.
All right, so it crashes when he disrupts his disruptions. Simple solution, I think. Just using disruption.
Good old Dota.
All right, G every time. So this every time.
Yeah. People are starting to PM me now, dude. This game's getting intense. We're getting to that point. Folks are starting to take witness to the clown fest that is Game 2 of the Northern Arena Beat Invitational Best of 5 Grand Finals.
I'm just glad, you know. I'm just giving them something to be entertained with, right? Just the lack of knowledge on who won that game when he threw it. But either way, Monub is in the chat. Shout out #1 best Luigi player in Canada. He brought up the Agnums for Susie. Oh, he actually bought it. He just bought it right now. Okay. All right. So this is the play. Is someone PMing him? I guarantee someone's definitely PMing Susie. Either way. If you blink and you ult, it's gonna put them all inside, right? Because this is like the really shitty Agnums upgrade for OD that's actually awful now.
Yeah.
But if he actually ults them all right now, they get stuck inside the Astral.
So this Ags was from when you used to get plus int with Astral.
Exactly.
So it would give you all of this extra damage. Now it is pretty dumb because you all pop out and I don't think the damage stacks right. Isn't that it? You just individually take like the damage of Astral.
It doesn't do
and then that's
cool.
it. So it's basically just for the disable, but it's a surprise move here. FDL, they're moving in. This could be it. BKBs get popped. AUI loses the Lincolns. Waveform back. They might just go for the throne. They need to be careful. MJW, he's going straight for it, but Stan King on the back line, he'll fall. Dire don't have a glyph here. BKBs get popped. I think FDL can do it. There's just not enough damage on the side of NP. They kill Bisa, but they get it on the backside. It's FDL that takes Game 2 after about 90 minutes of madness. My God.
All right, it's considering how far down they were, it's kind of a moral victory here for NP. The time zone strat coming into play here, but FDL they close it out. That takes some.
That's got to feel good
dude.
At least for FDL. They've come to come that far and then finally close it out after that. Much needed. 1,000 last hits on Morphling. Yeah, you don't see that every day. That's for sure. My God. All right, we're gonna take a break, folks. We're gonna chill out, and Game 3 coming up next.
The players
FDL
might want a break
versus NP. I think we might have more than a 2-minute break this go around. So sit tight, folks. Got more Dota 2 coming your way. It's gonna be a good late night here at the Northern Arena Beat Invitational.